Hey Grace, it's Maundy Thursday. On this day, Jesus unstoppably made his way towards Calvary. It's the day when everything's happening. Jesus has broken the bread and shared the wine in the final Passover with his disciples. They've eaten together, and he's said, when you do this, do it in remembrance of me. Every time in the future where you share the Passover, don't remember a lamb whose blood protected your forefathers from the angel of death in Egypt. Remember me, whose blood will shelter you from the wrath of God and shelter you from your guilt and your shame forevermore. Even as he was doing it, one of his disciples, Judas, slinks out of the upper room and makes his way towards the authorities of Israel, the high priest, the Pharisees, and he makes his pact. Well, Jesus leads his disciples onwards towards, out of the city, towards a garden called Gethsemane. And there, even as Judas is plotting and directing the enemies of Jesus, Jesus starts to pray with his disciples. In no time they're asleep, but Jesus prays. And here's where Maundy Thursday is so significant for you and I. We have a Saviour who is utterly unstoppable. Jesus, aware of his own human weakness, aware of the almighty burden that he will have to carry in the days to come, aware of the pain and the sorrow and the loneliness that he will feel the next day, aware of the sheer weight of sorrow and guilt that he will carry. Jesus cries out to his Father for strength, cries out that his Father would sustain him, cries out that God would not let him down. And here's the thing. For you and I, this is what he's like. He never fails. Whatever your circumstances today, you can look back to that first Maundy Thursday and see a Saviour who was so set on achieving your salvation that he would cry out. In all of his sorrow and grief, he would cry out that his sweat would reach the ground like drops of blood. Such was the grief he carried for you, and yet he persevered. There's a sense in which Maundy Thursday finds Jesus saying, I'm going to do this. Lord, help me. Father, help me. And he will see it through to the end. And so I just want to encourage you this Maundy Thursday to look at your Saviour anew, to see a newfound sense of worship and respect and honour and glory for him. The one who would show such courage, boldness and strength when he didn't have to. I mean, all of this could just have been avoided if he'd said, do you know what? No. And he could have done that. There's no reason that he had to go through with this, and yet for you and I he does. And in love, nothing will stop him. You know those words from Hebrews where the writer says, for the joy that was before him, Christ endured the cross. There was a joy for him in fulfilling the plans that his Father had made. But there was also a joy for him in anticipating that these weak and fragile disciples who he loved so dearly would be one day restored. Christ is on a mission on Maundy Thursday, and nothing will stop him. He's on a mission in your life, and nothing will stop him. know the sovereign, strong hand of God on you today, who says, I will not let go of you, no matter what it takes. God bless you.